The idea for this film is kind of partly based on a true story. In fact, the whole kind of opening scene of the short film is beat for beat what happened to me one night. I was brushing my teeth, and I was looking out the window, and there was some fairy lights in the garden, and for a split second, I thought I saw two of them move along as if they were eyes. And then this kind of creeped me out, but kind of gave me this idea for this film, which then, after I brushed my teeth, I went and just got my, paper and pen and just made the whole plot of the film. So I actually haven't had any proper lighting experience. I tend to like to shoot outside if I can for the film that I'm making, because it just makes the whole process easier. It looks better. But for this film, it's pretty much all set in the dark, and I think the lighting on this film really isn't great, if I'm going to be honest, because I did just use one torch. But I think this kind of works to a degree, because it does kind of feel like you're in a power cut in a way, because when you're looking in the dark, everything kind of feels fuzzy and jagged around the edges, because you're kind of trying to see what you're trying to see when there's hardly any light. And I guess this worked in this film, because I'm just using one £4 torch, on 3 AAA batteries, and I did think it worked. I thought it worked perfectly, just that. But it turns out my computer screen and my camera screen were tricking me the whole time. And then when I uploaded it to my phone and I checked it on there, and I checked it on the TV, it was pretty much unseeable. And this was all because, these two screens have very good contrast and brightness and stuff. So I've been basically looking at it, but not how it looks when it's finished. And to fix it, I went through a long process of going through the whole film, pretty much doing most shots, altering the brightness and the contrast, to then eventually get a result which can be seen. So the antagonist of the film, the eyes is what they're called, is just from my idea of those two LEDs that I thought I saw moving in the garden, and I did just want to keep them as two LEDs moving across the room and around the room, because I find there's something kind of quite creepy about something that's so simple yet slightly resembles something human. So when you have those two LED eyes, you kind of see, and you can kind of imagine a person being there. So I did keep it that simple. I just took, a string of LEDs, chopped 2 off, and soldered it to a wire, which went to a battery pack that could be in the actor's pocket. And this whole kind of system was integrated into like a ski mask. So with the whole idea of the eyes being something slight human, I wanted to just keep the sound of the eyes as simple as breathing. In the elevations in the breathing, you can kind of tell, what kind of, are the eyes angry? Are they in pain? So with the breathing idea, I then came up with the idea of what I call the steam message scene. That's what you could kind of call it. Because if the only kind of other clue we have to the eyes being somewhat living is their breath, then how could they communicate with Stan? And so I came up with this idea of kind of when you breathe on a window, there's condensation that occurs, and then you can kind of write and do doodles and stuff. And I was thinking this would be a good way for the eyes to creep out Stan, or just communicate with them without them face to face, So for this, I was literally just thinking someone could be outside, breathe on the window, write the message quickly, and then I'd shoot it. But this did not work, and we found that straight away, that the breathing method, the steam would just go straight away. And I didn't really know what else to do until I just thought about what actually is the condensation. It's just moisture kind of sprayed almost. So I used one of those kind of, you know, simple spray bottles, put it on the highest mist setting I could, and my brother outside, they would spray it across and then write the message. And for writing the message, I came up with this method of having signs that I'd write backwards. I'd write the message backwards, so then I, on the inside of the room, could put up the sign against the window, and then my brother could write the message backwards for them, but forwards for Stan. And that kind of really made it even more kind of weird. And the result was pretty much what I envisioned, and I'm glad it worked in the end, because it really helps kind of elevate the situation that Stan's in. So the kind of like body horror scene of the film, which is Stan slowly taking glass out of his foot after he trod on some, it was something that I knew I'd need a fake foot for. So I went ahead and made a foam fake foot out of EVA foam, and this looked good enough. You know, in close inspection you can clearly see it's foam, but for the way I used it in the scene, I feel like it worked well enough. So I put some holes in the foot, and then I'd actually have real glass inside the foot, which would be inside my trouser leg, and I'd hide my other leg. I'd put a t-shirt over my leg, near enough the same colour as the robe that I was wearing. And there was a lot of blood, a lot of fake blood in that process. For the shot, or the couple of shots where Stan falls down the stairs, I knew straight away this would need a dummy. So currently I'm doing the shot where I fall down the stairs, but luckily we have a trained professional here. It's Lyle, and Lyle has been doing this for a while now. And I think he's pretty tired. I mean, it's not looking great. Baseball bat is now broken. Hopefully we can fix that. Let's see how he rolls. It's all real. So for the kind of quote-unquote VFX for this film, I was originally planning on rotoscoping everything. Like going frame by frame, making like blue plates to put over the top, and then chroma key them out. And then I just realised that's going to be so much work. Although there were already like 5 shots that needed to be rotoscoped, and these were shots where the eyes were with Stan, and we didn't want to see the eyes, or the eyes were appearing and disappearing. That was it. That was the main reason I did these shots. And I kind of did a weird mix of black screening, if you could call it, green screening but with black, which is insane, and another kind of form of rotoscoping. So with the black screening, I literally used the image that I had of the eyes just in the darkness, and used chroma key to take out all the black. So this was all the dark, but not the eyes. Which was kind of weird to do that, because if you did that in any other image, if I was in the image, then that wouldn't work. But because it was just these bright glowing eyes, it worked. It worked to a degree, because the inside of the eyes kind of like got taken out as well. So I had to fill these frame by frame, and that was just for one shot. And then for the rest of them, I think I just used a kind of method of taking 2 holes through a blue plate and tracking them around the eyes, which then I could take out using chroma key. So yeah, so that was a bit strange, because it's like VFX but doing it probably the wrong way. But I hope it worked in the end. I think definitely the shots with Stan and the eyes in looked as good as they need to be. I mean, it's all in the dark, and that helps again. You know, what do films use when they have not so great CGI? Use darkness. It makes it look a whole lot better. So yeah, and so that's how I made most of this film. It's taken a long time. It's taken a long time for many reasons. You know, I don't do this full time. It's really just a side project in general, and it's been a great kind of learning experience. You know, I'm at this point, at the day I'm doing this, I am fed up with the film, and I'm happy it's over. But I'm sure I'll go back to it, and I'll watch it, and I'll probably enjoy it actually. I mean, it's definitely something I want to return to, the kind of psychological thriller, but I'm not going to be doing it in the dark with one torch, because I think that's pretty ridiculous. Not doing that again, no. But thank you for watching, and you know, if you've watched the film as well, thank you for watching that. And if you enjoyed it, that's great. So thank you, basically. So, see ya.